Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. This is United Daily Live. We are back. This is the place that we get all the latest Manchester United news, headlines, and transfer rumours. And today, we're looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjær's press conference and the quotes that have come from that press conference and the reaction to those quotes, of course, as well as everything else that is in the headlines surrounding Manchester United, including Marcus Rashford finishing third in the Football Writers Association Player of the Year. Jordan Henderson winning that one, which isn't good for my Twitter mentions at all. If you've seen some of my old tweets flying around in the last week or the last month or the last year, I think, since it's looked like Liverpool have been obvious to win the league. But we don't delete tweets. We just mute them and we keep moving. And we are talking about Manchester United, obviously. And we're gearing up for that game against Leicester City Sunday. And it's a big game for Manchester United. We know a victory will get us Champions League football in third place. We know that a draw will give us at least fourth place minimum. So we go there knowing that anything but defeat, and United are in the Champions League for next season. And when you look at the short-term objectives of Manchester United, you'd have to say that fulfills those short-term objectives. But it's obviously not what we want. And Ole Gunnar Solskjær has been using his press conference to say, whilst we can get top four, and we want to get top four, and we're going into this game against Leicester looking to win the game, also, we need to step it up. And he sent that message to his players that they need to step it up, United need to step it up, and we need to keep pushing to improve and get to where we want to be. And that is what you want to hear from your manager at this time. You don't want to hear any complacency. Yes, you know, you have to be a little bit positive to try and keep the boys upbeat. They'll be very disappointed after the Southampton game, Chelsea game, West Ham game. You know, they'll be feeling that's a big missed opportunities there to get into an FA Cup final and to have top four already wrapped up. But on the other hand, since the restart, or even January, if you would have said that we'd be third going into the final day of the season, I think everybody would have taken it. It's just obviously a very precarious situation that we find ourselves in. The fixtures coming up, you know, Chelsea, Wolves, Leicester United, massive fixtures. And I'm nervous about this weekend, but I'm looking forward to it as well. Let's go for another on this day. What is it today? The 24th of July? It is the 24th of July. On this day, the 24th of July, 1941, which was a Thursday, Tony Dunne is born in Dublin and goes on to become a decorated fullback with Manchester United after joining from Shelbourne. His big break comes when he replaces fellow Irishman Shea Brennan for the 1963 FA Cup final when the Reds defeated Leicester City. While with United, he also wins the title in 1965 and 67 and the European Cup in 1968. How about that? He's won the FA Cup, the European Cup, the league title. I was about to say the Premier League. Obviously, it wasn't the Premier League back then. It was the first division, but that's the league. We count them as one of our, two of our 20. So, what a legend Tony Dunne. He is one of those fullbacks that you think of when you think of the likes of Patrice Evra, Gary Neville, Dennis Irwin. You know, Tony Dunne definitely comes into that conversation. Being Manchester United's greats, and another great Irishman that played for the club as well. United have a long history of these Irishmen coming over and absolutely tearing it up for the club. Obviously, you had Roy Keane, who come from Nottingham Forest, but originally from Cork. You had Irwin, originally from Cork. Georgie Best from Belfast. Loads of different players that obviously came over and played for United. A long heritage there. And another legend, Tony Dunne, and rest in peace to him as well. But on this day, he was born in Dublin in 1941. Legend. Anyway, that's enough of on this day for today. Let's get stuck into some of these quotes from the press conference. Ole Gunnar Solskjær held today. And I can see you guys in the comments. I'll be diving into your comments soon. I have got them up in front of me. But let's get stuck into some of the quotes from this press conference. Solskjær said, "We're looking forward to the game. We've given ourselves a good chance of Champions League next year. but we can't go in thinking about the outcome. We've just got to perform at a high enough level and get the result. We want to dominate the game. We wanted to get to this position to go to Leicester and beat them. We want to go there to try and win the game. One lapse of concentration can hurt you. We're going to go into it with a strong frame of mind, and we have one more game this season. This is a journey for this team. This is one extra step on the journey. We've come a long way mentally, shown more robustness, resilience, lost the first goal in games. We've also shown the heights when everything's flowing. I'm delighted with how the development looks. When you play football games and you win, you get good results, it's enjoyable and you build momentum and going. Then you find one or two bumps along the way. It's not going to go in one straight linear trajectory. On the team news, he said Axel and Phil are out, but the others I'll give time to prove their fitness. So that means Luke Shaw, who obviously jarred his ankle or twisted his ankle, will hopefully be fit for this one, and Eric Bailly could possibly return as well. But Ollie is giving them as much time as possible to prove their fitness for that game against Leicester City, which is a crucial game for Man United. Solskjær said, when the last game of the season is in front of you, you expect players to have bruises, aches and tiredness. Even though this season has been different, it's been a draining one for everyone. Having been so far behind with the restart, we had to go for it, go for goals, go for points, and it's been a great effort by everyone to get into this position with one game to go. We've had some hard times this season, some setbacks. We've shown this is a team going places, and if we can finish the season with a trophy in Europe and third, which is what we want, isn't it? That's what we want, and I'm glad he's sending that message out there. We'll give some time off before the LASK Linz game. They need mental and physical time away from the place. Effort has been fantastic. Recharge the batteries for a few days and go again. We've got Lask, a 5-0 lead, so don't have to go into that game chasing normally as you would a 2 or 3 goal win. A few days off, definitely. We've not ended up anywhere yet. One more game to go to show we've become a better team, and if we get a result against Leicester, this journey has been a good one. But it's not the end of the journey. There are two teams too far ahead of us, and we have to step it up even more. And I think that is the important thing. Whilst third place would be an achievement of sorts for Man United this season, and you know it'd be a good move up the table. It's not the be all and end all. We still need to keep improving. We still need to keep looking to sign players, the right players, bring through the right players for our academy, get rid of the right players as well, and we need to do that. Yes, over a long term and with a long term future in mind, but also in the short term, because there's an opportunity here. Look, we know Manchester City are a great team, and you know they've got Champions League football, so they didn't suffer that setback. You know they've got a great coach, and they'll spend a lot of money to improve the places where they need to. Liverpool, you know, they've achieved an awful lot over the last 2 to 3 seasons. I'm sure they'll be looking to invest again. But some are saying they might not be able to invest as much as you would expect the Champions League and the Premier League winners of the last 2 years to do. So United are in a position this summer where we know we're moving in the right direction, but if we stagnate, it's not good enough. Do you know what I mean? If we finish third again next season and we're 35 points off top spot or whatever the fuck it is, that's not on. It's not good enough, and we need to keep pushing these players, because you could say probably over the last couple of years there's been a little bit of complacency. You know, when we win the FA Cup or we win the League Cup, Europa League, we kind of just suffer setbacks again. We don't use that to push us on. We don't use that to push us onto things. We need to use any short-term success as a foundation and a build-up for long-term success, because the Premier League and the Champions League is what we want. You know, we're just talking about Tony Dunne, player that won the league and won the European Cup. That has to be the benchmark for every Man United player, and United have to sign players that will push us in that direction, but also get rid of players that aren't pushing us in that direction, that are already at the club. So it's a massive summer for the team, a massive summer. And Ole Gunnar Solskjær needs backing in the transfer market, that's for sure. Killian, Callum, Aaron, Ross, Kate, Jamie, Remy, Mark, Neil, Abdul, Moldy, not saying the full bit, Tim Blair, loads of you guys in there, 22, Jack Laverty, Jamie Stanley, Srinivas, Cannonballer, Vishal Tumbi. Thank you all for getting involved, guys. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. Join if you can as well. Obviously, as we reacted to Ole Gunnar Solskjær's press conference and the quotes that came out from that. But also as we look ahead towards that Leicester City game, a massive game for Manchester United, a massive game for the club, and a massive game for our short-term and long-term goals, because it enables us to be able to sign the players we want in the summer as well. Although if you get Europa League, you should still be able to get in there and sign the players that you want. Being a club like United, it's not always guaranteed, is it? Especially if players want to be in the Champions League now. Course Club, how you doing, mate? Why not do a swap deal with Aston Villa for Grealish and Lingard, says Abdi. If Villa stayed in the Premier League, Lingard could do well at Villa, to be fair. It's a big club, big opportunity. There'll be a team that's spending money signing players, you'd think, with the owners they have if they stay up. Could be one that possibly could happen, but from what you hear from Jesse Lingard, kind of sounds like he could be staying at Man United. I think Matt's off. I think Pereira possibly could be off. I think Lingard possibly could be off too. I think it'll be two of those three that will leave, and they will make way for signings to come in. I think you could see Tahith Chong go out on loan maybe. You know, and United bring in, say, a Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish. Because if you sold Mata and Pereira, or you sold Lingard and Pereira, or you sold Lingard and Mata, you could still see one of those players surviving at the club, because you're not going to see that many sales all at once. Especially when you consider Rojo, Smalling, Jones looking likely to leave, you know, and then possibly two of those three. I can't see there being much more sales than that unless big bids are coming in. And maybe Jesse's one of those ones that is on big wages. United would want a decent fee for him. Some clubs probably just won't be able to make it happen now. Rebecca, how you doing? Thank you for joining us again. Whose birthday is it on Sunday? Happy birthday to whoever it is. Remy, happy birthday, mate, for Sunday. Hope you have a good one, and I hope United make it a better one for you. United can't have passengers anymore, says Liam, which is true. Pereira, Jones and Sanchez have to be the departure priorities. How can I forget about Alexis Sanchez? It looks like he'll be leaving as well. You hear talk about, you know, United potentially being in talks with Inter Milan over extending his loan. But I think United will use that opportunity, because he can't play in the Europa League as it stands for Inter Milan, or in the latter stages anyway, because his loan will expire. So I think United will use that as an argument for them to get the permanent deal done or agreed. And I think that's a great way to go about it for United, because we need to get that deal sorted. We need to get Alexis Sanchez off our wage bill. It's as simple as that. I don't see any way he stays at United and is a success anymore. Yes, he's had a little bit of a return to form at Inter Milan. Couple goals, 6-7 assists in his last, I think it's 10 games or something. You can't argue with that, but don't want Sanchez back at United. No, thank you. Caribbean says, do you think Lingard can come out of his sticky spell? I do, but I think it's because I have a soft spot for him. I think when you look at the form of him, Pereira, you can't argue if they're sold. Do you know what I mean? Me and my mate have genuinely got a bottle of bubbly for the day Phil Jones leaves, says Ben. It's a bit, shit it. I once said Phil Jones would be future United and England captain. And I think sometimes we forget about look, Phil Jones needs to be sold, innit? I think that's true. And I think it is something that should have happened a long time ago. And I think he's somebody that we don't really want to see playing for United. So I see why he did it, and it is funny. But it's like, I'm a soft sod, I am. Because I just think about it from their perspective. Like, imagine you're Phil Jones. Yes, he's well paid. Yes, he has a great job. Yes, he's won a lot of trophies and things like that. But imagine you're breaking through under Sir Alex Ferguson, and you got this manager saying he's like Duncan Edwards, and you're being touted as the man to be the future England captain and United captain, not by me, by people that know more than me. And then you have these injuries, these mistakes, like these things just happen. He has shown good form for United at times. I just think of it from their perspective, and I just feel a little bit sad for them, man. But it is time. It is time. He's been linked with Aston Villa as well, funnily enough. Maybe he could be one that's involved in the Jack Grealish deal. Michael says Chris Smalling should come back for a year. I don't think so, personally. I said the same about Jones. The bubbly is more because we're heading in the right direction. Wish him all the best. Hope he plays well. Yeah, Ben. I know you're not a bad lad. I know. I made it seem like you were a dickhead. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Oh God. Philip Jones. Always believe in Phil Jones. What a man. Jones is championship standard. Get rid ASAP, says Jake. Phil Jones and Rojo looked solid for a good spell once upon a time, says Superstar. And they were called Ro Jones. Do you remember the time? I'm not on the kickoff this Sunday. But if Bry wants to phone me, Loz, Boltwood, phone me. Don't phone me just because you got my number. Don't ask what I'm on. Don't ask what. Oh, what a banger. I've just put that into my head now. So that means I'm going to be listening to all old school gets today. Do you think Ollie will start Timbo on Sunday? Says Jamie. I thought about this yesterday. I thought to myself, yo, I'm so happy Timbo's back in the team. Like, I thought he was done out here, Timbo. And he still could be. He hasn't been 10 out of 10, you know what I mean? But for someone that's not played for such a long time for United and come back, I thought Rashford played really well in front of him the other game. And then, he did a few mistakes, but could be Timbo time. Could be Timbo time all over again. Low-key miss Rojo, says Killian. Come on now, Jordan. Don't be telling everyone. When Phil Jones has the ball at his feet, it looks like he's been given a Rubik's Cube, says Ross. Do I think Ollie will start Timbo though, Jamie? In answer to your question, yes. If Luke Shaw's not fit, I think we'll start him. I definitely do. Guys, get hitting that like button, get commenting, get sharing, get subscribing. This is United Daily Live. We've got lots more coming up for you this weekend. We've got the Leicester City preview coming up for you. We've got more United Daily Live, the latest transfer news, all that good stuff. The Weekly United might make a return this weekend, but I might save it till next week when we get back into the full swing of things with the usual agenda. Yeah, so that'll be back. Is Shaw okay for Sunday? Says Michael. Ole Gunnar Solskjær in his press conference says he will give Luke Shaw and Eric Bailly as much time as possible to prove their fitness. So he's still hopeful on those guys being involved at the weekend. The only ones ruled out are Axel Tuanzebe and Phil Jones. I imagine Phil Jones might not even be injured. He might have just agreed a deal elsewhere, and United have thought, let's not play him. Let's just sell him. I hope we see Axel before the end of the Europa League, says Ben. I think we will see Axel Twanzebe be involved. And I think the Europa League will be used as, especially if we get Champions League football. I think the last game and the Istanbul or Copenhagen game will be used as an opportunity to rotate, give some players, the Pogbas, Brunos, Martial, Rashford, Maguire, De Gea, give those kind of players some time off, I think, ahead of September the 12th or 19th or whenever United are going to start the league, because we have heard the Premier League have offered to delay Europa teams and Champions League teams, the teams that are involved in the latter stages of those competitions, to delay their starts to the season. So United could obviously activate that as well, but I imagine they will use it as a chance to give players opportunities. I think Lingard's last chance saloon, Pereira's. I think we'll get to see Garlo a lot more. Killian says, regret selling Evans. I love Johnny Evans. Massive fan of Johnny Evans. Hoping he doesn't come back to haunt us. We got Evans against Maguire at the King Power on the weekend. Yeah, Rebecca, I want that to happen. Wolves to win and United and Leicester to draw. And Chelsea get knocked out of the top 4. But we can't be relying on United to draw. Just probably wouldn't go right for us, would it? I think Wolves could do it though. I just couldn't fancy United sitting on a draw. It would shit me up for the whole game. Transfer targets other than Sancho, says Udit. Jack Grealish, Thomas Partey, and a defender of some sort. Marcus Rojo. I love Marcus Rojo. Who said they miss Marcus? I miss Marcus Rojo as well. I miss him too. What a man Marcus Rojo was. What a man. Let's see what other news is out there in relation to United. We've still got a couple of minutes left of the show, so let's get stuck in. United apparently are signing a Manchester City youth player. Man United are confident of signing City rising star Charlie McNeil. He scored 110 goals and contributed 38 assists in 72 games for City's under 15s. Who was counting his goals, Pele? Fucking hell, the kid's on fire. It's something that isn't seen very often, but Man United could be about to snap up a wonder kid who is set to leave rivals Man City. He was reported to have joined RB Leipzig, but maybe that one's not happening now. As Sports Mail exclusive revealed on Friday, United are confident of signing 16-year-old striker Charlie McNeil, a player who has scored an amazing 600 goals in youth football. The England under-16 international left City 6 weeks ago after rejecting a professional contract at Etihad, and United want to swoop to re-sign a player who left them 6 years ago. Apparently he's a United fan as well. Yeah, it says it in the article as well. But looks like he could be on his way to Manchester United. I suppose that would be with the influx of youth signings. We heard about Mark Gerardo, Joe Hugill. We've heard about a few players linked with Manchester United, and maybe that could be another one of those. Someone's asking me to look at Rio Ferdinand's comment on Jadon Sancho's. They've both got the same bag. It's a Dior bag, which looks like a briefcase kind of thing, or something that you'd expect camera equipment to be in. But Rio commented on it. They're gonna love this in Manchester or something like that. Rio knows what he's doing. He's very clever. He knows what he's doing on the old social medias. Does Rio Ferdinand. So, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. We will be back with another video today at some point. I don't know what it's going to be today. Maybe I'll leave the preview till tomorrow, or I'll do the preview tonight. I don't know. Might be the preview tonight. It might be something else tonight. But you'll have content anyway. So make sure you're keeping it locked. You're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. For now, I have been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of here. No.